Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Okay, we in here. Pound for pound box channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Comment below. Share. Do all of that, man. Love and respect y'all, man. I appreciate all the support I've been getting. Not really in a good mood right now, but guess what? I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna start trying to do at least one live a day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Let me go ahead and try to break down this Errol Spence and Keith. I mean, I'm about to say Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is one of the subjects. But Errol Spence and Danny Garcia fight. Make my prediction for the big fight this weekend. Um, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna say this to start it off. We don't know what shape Errol Spence is in. Now he done made it through camp. That's the first step. Okay, that was my first real test. He makes it through camp. He looked good in camp. They say the hunger is back. This, that, and the third. Okay, cool. Um, I don't know what sparring partners he has in there, so I can't really go just by that. But just it's an accomplishment just to make it through camp. They said they had all the testing and everything done. Went to a couple of different doctors. Everything's good to go. I have my own opinions about that. Um, you know, but I just think with his style, matching up against Danny, that's what's going to make a good fight. Because if he goes to Danny's body, Danny's gonna obviously Danny's a counter puncher. Errol goes to the body, slows down his ability to counter him. And I think if Errol follows the blueprint of Lamont Peterson, I think that's the best example of how to beat Danny. I just think Lamont started a little bit too late. He's a late starter. Because I mean, it was debatable. That was a debatable fight, especially at the end. Danny was getting tagged at the end, like face red. You know what I'm saying? Just he was exhausted after that fight. But nonetheless, he invested. He got some banked on some early rounds, and that's how he won that fight. The thing with Earl is, it just depends on what Earl shows up. You can't judge him based off the Sean Porter fight because Sean Porter's a totally different fighter than Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Totally different style, everything. Danny has power in both hands. Okay? Danny is slow as molasses as far as movement. He's flat-footed. Earl can move around a little bit, work his jab. He has a very good jab, long jab. He's got the longer reach than Danny. But I think Danny's going to try to take his time and just counter him. I think the real fight will break out when Earl gets hit with a hard shot. Then we're going to see if he's okay or not, honestly. Because Danny hits hard. Everybody says Danny hits hard. And, we're going to see. But, I mean, Danny looks okay. He looks good. He looks a lot better for this fight than he did with the Ivan Redcash fight. We'll see when we get up on the scale. You know what I'm saying? Errol looks, I mean, some people say looks good. I have my own opinion about it. I'm not going to go into detail about it. But I don't want no excuses. You brought Blu-ray back, your old strength and conditioning coach. You know what I'm saying? You shredded. You've been ready. So I think for him to have the fight pushed back, like extra 2 weeks, that was beneficial for him. You know what I'm saying? That was very beneficial for him. I don't know, man. It's a tough fight. I realistically, I really see Errol winning because Danny's 0 for 2 for the big fights at welterweight, right? 0 for 2. Lost to Sean Porter, lost to Keith Thurman. But I just think Earl he's a relentless and smart body puncher. He's very accurate when he gets in there. He is a dog. He is a dog. Even though I'm a Keith Thurman fan, but Errol Spence is a dog. He presents a certain problem. He's long, he's relentless, but he hasn't been hit. Right now, that's debatable. Danny will be the hardest hitter, the hardest puncher that Errol Spence has fought. That's what makes it interesting. So you coming off of the car accident, and I'm gonna say this: I'm not using this for an excuse. If you lose, you lose. Even Danny said, if you ain't healthy, don't get in that ring. So I don't want no Errol Spence fans get up on here. Don't be getting in my comment section. Don't be texting me, hitting me on Instagram. None of that. Don't use that for an excuse. If your man lost, he just lost. Accept the loss. He's healthy. It's a blessing that he made through the car accident. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't wish that nothing bad on anybody. But hey, if you're gonna come back, you're gonna come back. Now, I pick God, man, I don't even know, bro. I'm gonna make my prediction. I'm gonna get through this. I think for all of us, we all want Errol to win so we can set up for him and Bud. But me personally, I want Danny Garcia to win. But I don't see him winning. I really don't. It just depends on if it's a healthy Earl or not. If Earl's healthy and he doesn't get hit with that no look left by Danny, and he can work Danny's body and also anticipate for the counter coming over the top, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. If he could push Danny back, you know what I'm saying, then we good. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Earl. I'm gonna go with Earl. I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna go with Earl. But just the trash talk, Earl said if I was 70%, I could still beat Danny. That's wow. That's very disrespectful. But that's what I think a lot of people are overlooking Danny. But okay. And then Angel, Danny's trainer, Dad, he said I think he said, look, seven rounds. Danny's gonna knock him out in 7. Okay, okay. I like that. That's a bold prediction, but okay. We'll see about that. I know Danny was happy after the Errol Spence Sean Porter fight because he saw some things. He was telling Keith Thurman that Errol gets hit too much, you know what I'm saying, and he can kind of take advantage of a lot of things that he does. I mean, you never know. Errol might get in there and be a different fighter. He might turn into the Chris Algieri fighter that he was that night. Now, me, hold on, I'm getting over it. Me, I don't even look at that Chris Algieri fight as a real fight because Errol just bum rushed him. That's like looking at Paulie versus Sean Porter. We all know Chris Algieri and Paulie have no power. So, of course, I'm not worried about him. I can do whatever I want to do because whatever punches he's throwing at me to keep me off me is not going to do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? That's the same kind of fight. That is the exact same kind of fight. Just they went in there juggernaut style, just bum rushed them boys. Paulie was laid out in front of his home fans, his home team. That was terrible. That was probably the worst fight ever for Paulie. And Chris Algieri just almost got his head taken off, literally at the Barclays. That was horrible. But and the funny thing is, Keith Thurman said he wants the winner. Keith Thurman already beat Danny. Some people say it was a close fight. It wasn't a close fight. It was a close fight because Keith Thurman, he was cruising on the back end of that fight because he had a lot of rounds in the bank. He was the first person to really have Danny. Just check out that first round of that fight. Danny almost got knocked down. Danny almost went. His lights were almost out from the punches that Keith Thurman was hitting him with. Because Keith Thurman starts off all his fights trying to get your respect, have you respect his power, his punching power, and Keith Thurman can really crack. But Keith Thurman wants that. He wants the winner. And yes, I'm gonna tell you right now, Errol Spence he's gonna say, "Oh, I'm not giving Keith Thurman the fight. I'm not gonna fight him because he ducked me back then." How come he doesn't keep that same energy with Sean Porter and Danny Garcia? That's my thing. Everybody's getting on Keith, but understand Keith had an injury. Okay, he had an injury. He was unified first before Earl was. He had an injury. He fought Sean Porter and Danny Garcia in that exact same order, and actually fought better versions of them. But yet Errol Spence gets all the glory. Oh, he's number 1 pound. He beats Danny. But y'all just didn't care when Keith did that years ago, right? So whatever Keith did, it didn't matter. Okay, so he held up the division. That's what Sean Porter was saying. Even though Errol Spence had a belt, but they didn't want to go that route. They wanted the WBC belt. Okay, cool. I relinquished the belt. I'm Keith Thurman. I relinquished the belt. You guys fight for it. Sean Porter wins. Okay? But my thing is, how can Errol? I don't understand how Errol's sitting there saying, "Oh, he dug me. I should have fought Keith. I'm not fighting Keith now because he dug me back then." Okay, Danny and Sean Porter ducked you too. Keith Thurman had an elbow injury after the Danny Garcia fight. Then he was out for 18 months. Came back, fought. I was about to say Teofimo Lopez. Fought Josito Lopez. Threw 800 punches that round. Got an early knockdown and almost got almost got knocked out himself because he missed. He was trying to move around in the ring. Went back in the ropes. Josito Lopez caught him. That was pretty bad. I was probably looking like, all right, now I was real scared. But anyway, he wins that fight, goes on to fight Pacquiao, gets knocked down in the first round of that fight, loses split decision. He would have won that fight if he just didn't get hit. If he didn't get hit in the ribs in round 11, round 10, and had to go on retreat mode, right? But nonetheless, people saying he should have fought Spence instead of Pacquiao. Dude, y'all got to be the dumbest. Y'all got to be the dumbest boxing fans. Why would I pick Errol Spence when I can pick Manny Pacquiao? Do phenomenal numbers, make a career high payday. And not to mention, this is the same guy that you wanted to fight after the Mikey Garcia fight. Just really think about that. Nonetheless, we move on. But yeah, at the end of the day, Errol ain't got no say. I'm going to say this. Errol, if you're not fighting Bud or you not fighting Bud, it's the choices, Bud or Keith Thurman. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing about an IBF mandatory, especially if you think you a pay-per-view fighter. Because I'm not ordering no pay-per-view for no IBF mandatory. I don't even know who the IBF mandatory is right now. I think it's the top-ranked dude, whatever. I don't even know. They had a little situation because I think it was, I can't think. It was on Showtime. They had the little draw for, I think that was number 2 and 3 because old boy and the top-ranked guy had a passport issue or something, visa issue, whatever the situation was. Nonetheless, I don't care about an IBF mandatory. But that's going to be an issue that needs to be figured out because Spence hasn't had an IBF mandatory since El Campo or whatever, when he fought at the Dallas practice stadium or whatever. That was years ago. It's about time for that. But I think this whole thing could be figured out if Keith Thurman became the IBF mandatory by fighting that top-ranked guy. That's how Keith Thurman gets in. His tune-up fight is going to be that guy because, dude, it's nothing special. Nothing special. Keith Thurman becomes the IBF mandatory, and Errol Spence is going to be forced to fight him. And all of this is null and void because at the end of the day, if Al Heyman tells any fighter what to do, you're going to do it. That's point blank, period. So those are your two choices, buddy. Keith Thurman, Terrence Bud Crawford. And it seems like you don't want that Terrence Bud Crawford fight. And you know what? If we don't get the Terrence Bud Crawford fight, I know a lot of fans are going to be mad about it. I'm okay with that Keith Thurman fight because that fight was supposed to happen next. I'm hearing rumors that Sean Porter is the WBO mandatory. So guess what? It's going to be Sean Porter against Terrence Bud Crawford, and it's going to be Keith Thurman against Errol Spence. The winner will fight each other because we don't know what Pacquiao's going to do. I'm looking at the betting lines and stuff like that, and seeing the fights and stuff. They got Mikey and Pacquiao on there. I don't know why nobody's putting pressure on Pacquiao to at least give us an answer. What you gonna do? Make a decision. Are you gonna fight Bud next? Are you gonna fight Mikey next? If you're not, if you're gonna go back to politics or whatever, just give up the belt, bro. Get out the way. That's what's really, that just get out the way. He's the one that's really holding up everything. Yeah, Lee. You rumored to fight Mikey for what? For what? Tell me. And I don't want nobody trying to lobby like, oh, Mikey, he don't deserve nothing. Mikey don't deserve nothing right now. I don't care. You came up to welterweight. You took on the boogeyman, so to speak. You lost every round. You didn't even win a round, bro. To me, it was more exciting to see if you were going to pump your fist at the end of the rounds. Oh, yeah, there you go. I hope you don't think you won that round by pumping your fist. You know what I'm saying? That was the highlight of my fight. And the sad part is I went to the bar and watched that. That was such a waste of pay-per-view. And the fact that a lot of these fans are sitting there like, oh, Mikey's got a chance. Mikey's going to do this. That man went in there and did exactly what I knew he was going to do. Lose every round because he's too small for welterweight. Now, came back. He beat, what's his name? Jesse. He beat Jesse Vargas on DAZN. But the sad part is he got rewarded. He got paid $7 million for nothing, a non-title fight. That's what's wrong. That's one of the things that's wrong with boxing. That's ridiculous. And now he's rumored to possibly get the Pacquiao fight. Come on, bro. Hell, I would be happy with a Keith Thurman rematch while you playing. That was a split decision. That's a bigger fight. Mikey Garcia is not a bigger fight. I think him and Pacquiao match up better because they're smaller, but I'd rather see Pacquiao Keith Thurman. I mean, Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford. Damn, can we get a new fight? I'm not interested in seeing Mikey. Mike can go to 140. Mike can go back to 135. I don't care. Like, just get out the way, bro. Real talk. But another fight on this weekend is Billy Joe Saunders, Martin Murray. I don't care. I really don't care. But I'm gonna say something about it because it is. It's gonna be. I think it's tomorrow night, Friday on the Zone. If you guys enjoy that, if you're Billy Joe Saunders fans, check it out. Billy Joe Saunders hasn't looked the same since he got popped with the whole inhaler. And that fight got canceled or whatever like that. And he really hasn't looked the same since he came to 168. I think Billy Joe Saunders' best fight was against David Lemieux. He looked phenomenal that fight. Like I feel like nobody could have beat him that night. Really, he was boxing beautifully. But this new guy, 68, yeah, he looking kind of shaky there, buddy. Doing some antics in the media, social media and stuff, and causing a whole bunch of stuff over in the UK. I don't know. His sense of humor is kind of weird to me. He's a good fighter, nothing impressive. It just seems like, dude, every time when you want to get a big fight, you always talk about wanting to get the big fight. You always trying to pull up on Triple G and trying to troll him and trying to get the big fight. It never happens. You say you want the Canelo fight, then something happened and it didn't happen. Like it's always something with you. That's me. But my thing is, if Martin Murray wins, cool. You're gonna probably have a rematch. I'm pretty sure messing with Eddie Hearn, you're gonna have a rematch clause. It is what it is. You are the champion. You deserve to have a rematch. I understand that. Martin Murray, what? Wait, hold on. Didn't he retire? I think he retired, came back, got like a tune-up fight, and now he's ready to go for this fight. Whatever. All I'm saying is, if Billy Joe Saunders wins this fight, which he most likely will, what is that gonna do? Are you gonna fight Andrade? No. Well, are we looking at a Danny Jacobs fight? That's an okay fight, but the last fight for Danny Jacobs was trash. So Danny Jacobs didn't do himself any benefit by looking trash like he did against Gabriel Rosado. So it's like that's really kind of your only options over there at 168 on the Zone. So enjoy, unless you can get Dermachenko or something. I don't know what you're gonna do. Bottom line is, I really don't care. Will I probably watch? I might check it out. I don't know. I might check it out. But you guys, look forward to that on the Zone Friday night. Hit the like button, comment below, share, do all of that. Let me know who you guys think is going to win Saturday night's fight. Errol Spence, Danny Garcia. I'm excited about it. I'm also going to pick somebody to pay their pay-per-view. All you got to do is, so hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at P4PBC, and then you're automatically entered. It's your host, F. Merritt, Pound Box Channel. I'm out.